You might be tracking 5, 10, 15 different metrics for your key results, but are you measuring those things that actually matter? Imagine that you're on the board of a school district and through your policies, your board has directed that students will read at grade level. In time, you receive a progress report, and in that report you receive information about the system that the schools are using to teach students to read, the training the teachers have received to be able to use that system, how many teachers participated in the training, how many children were exposed to the system, the number of classroom hours with the system, whether parents were happy with the system, and of course, how much the system cost. Have you noticed what's missing? That's right. What proportion of students can actually read at grade level? Not only that, the board should probably also look for some comparisons. How does the proportion of students reading at grade level compare to previous years? Or how does that proportion compare to other school districts with similar characteristics? By now, you're probably wondering what board, in its right mind, would accept all the other data as a substitute for reporting the actual impact of all that work. You might be surprised. Consider the board of a trade association expecting an environment conducive to business success. It received reports about lobby initiatives without data to know if the business environment has actually improved. The board of a professional association which expects the public will have a greater awareness of the value of the profession. This board received a list of social media initiatives and advertising about the profession, but no data that speaks about change in public awareness. The board of a church wants members of their congregation to live their faith. The board receives reports of the educational programs the church offers, the attendance at those programs, and whether the attendees thought the programs were well presented. Missing in action are indicators of the changes in the lives of the congregants. Several of these changes or results are much more challenging to measure than the activities that are used to achieve them. It is far easier to measure how many views an ad received on social media than whether people's awareness or opinions have changed. The folks at the professional engineers and geoscientists of Newfoundland and Labrador had that same dilemma. They needed to learn if the needle on the public opinion meter had moved for how the public valued the professions of engineering and geosciences. Measuring public opinion for the whole province? That's a daunting task. So they tapped into an existing survey run by a market research firm. By adding questions for their needs, the survey delivered the data they specifically needed. Was there a cost to getting that data? Sure. Compare that to the cost of continuing activities that may not be getting those results. In our work with hundreds of boards of directors, we see that they are always interested in what the organization is doing. This is especially intriguing when board members are looking over promotional campaigns and materials and giving their feedback. As just one example, the board of an agricultural commodity organization may want people to eat more of their members' products, or perhaps they want more people to eat their products. Okay, probably both. I've seen board members of those organizations absorbed in the promotional campaigns, and when I asked why, the response was, "Hey, I know what I like." And of course, their interests and tastes are the same as the intended audiences, right? Well, that's a bit of a dangerous assumption. As a board member, you're already sold on the organization and whatever it's promoting, but the organization you're governing is trying to influence others to change their outlook to favor your products. So, as a board member, you may like what the organization is doing, but if time and treasure are going into those efforts, doesn't it make sense to really know if those efforts are making an impact? Wait a minute, you say, our promotions are based on market research and the latest in media trends. Yeah, okay, that's good to hear. And if it aligns with the best practices, then it must be good, right? Perhaps. One of the biggest challenges in getting your message out is getting heard above all the noise. So strategies and methods that work for others, well, they might work for you, But again, the board needs to know if it's actually getting results. And that's the key to governing this stuff. Board members don't have to be marketing or PR experts. The board can and should leave that up to management, even if management has to get that expertise from external experts. But regardless of what management is doing to achieve results, the board should be confident that the data it's getting tells it if the organization is really making a difference. CEOs need to please their masters, and a CEO's master is the board. If the board is happy with receiving activity reports, it's likely going to get them. Activity reports or impact reports? Which type does your board get?